Why isn't Bitcoin pumping? That's the big question everyone has. Well, I have some answers for you guys as the charts are lining up and it shows we are on the cusp of a massive bull run again. And the US government recovers some crypto that was stolen from them. I'll give you the details there. And there's some big updates around Ethereum and Coinbase's base layer 2. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, what the hell is happening with Bitcoin? I want to share some thoughts here because Bitcoin, of course, is the mover of the entire crypto market. It brings in the liquidity so the altcoins can move. So we need Bitcoin to do something. And Bitcoin has been trying to break out and bust through $70,000, but it keeps hitting a ceiling. So what is holding it back? And over this weekend, I put together a newsletter about this topic, and I wanted to share what some other analysts are saying. But the main catalyst, folks, for what's holding Bitcoin back is the DXY, the dollar currency index. We know there's an inverse correlation. And if you look at the dollar currency index going back to September into the whole of October, it's been going parabolic. Look at the daily chart, green candle after green candle. This is what we wanted Bitcoin to do, but unfortunately the DXY is doing it. And if you recall, I was telling you guys that early in September, I thought the DXY would find some short-term strength before rolling over. Well, it found more than short-term strength. It's been going nuts. But the silver lining here, guys, is that it is extremely overbought. By the textbook, you look at the daily RSI, it's above 70. It's been hanging out around the top here for a long time. It just refuses to break down. But one thing's for sure, let's put our emotions to the side. This is not sustainable. You look at any asset or currency, you look at these charts, when it's in the overbought zone, it can't stay there forever. It's going to break down. And the longer it stays up there, the stronger that breakdown is going to be. So I'm preparing for once the election and some of these macro factors come into alignment, you're going to see the DXY break down significantly, and that's going to be very bullish for Bitcoin and the altcoins. I believe Bitcoin's going to start to go parabolic in November into December. Now, I could be wrong. I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm forming my thesis on the data, not my feelings or emotions, what the data is telling us. And Bitcoin, one thing that's very bullish is on the short-term time frame, it is forming higher highs and lower highs. That's a good sign. It's stair-stepping its way out of this zone. Now, it has to break through 70. That's key, right? So I think 70K is around the corner where we can break through there, and then it's going to go into price discovery. That's what we're waiting for, folks. And I know it's painstaking. I know it's annoying. Look, I've been here from multiple bull and bear market cycles. This is boring the hell out of me. Right? Now, I'm not fearful. I'm just bored. I'm just like, oh, come on. Like, we want to get this show on the road, right? I'm getting a bit impatient. But I'm not fearful because I see different factors, the macro, the technicals, and much more are aligning with the bull run continuing. But it's a patience game. It is so much of a patience game. And this is where smart money is usually able to outlast retail and people who are not financially educated, right? People who are not financially educated follow headlines and then they sell, they dump, they run for the hills when they see the price pull back and there's some negative news versus saying, hey, I'm going to buy the dip and continue to add my position because I know where we're at in the timeline of this bull market. And unfortunately, unless you're financially educated, doing your research, listening to the Thinking Crypto podcast and getting up-to-date information. Look, other podcasts as well who are sharing quality information. You're like a plastic bag floating in the wind, right? You need to be anchored and understand the data. The data is so important and understanding what's happening in the markets. So let me share what some different analysts are saying. So analyst Bob Lucas, who I'm a big fan of, he says Bitcoin on day 51 of 60-day average cycle and not breaking down. Near its high, this is a right translated cycle indicating consolidation since March is coming to an end. Bullish structural change without confirmation, due for a dip into November 5th, but there's never a guarantee. Okay, couple things to unpack there. Right translated cycle means it's the extended cycle. He was predicting possibly, he was just throwing a thesis out there that it would be a left translated cycle and we would have to blow off top by the end of this year. But unfortunately, Bitcoin said, no, we're going to stick to the plan of the normal 4-year cycle. And the reason why Bob and other people were saying left translated cycle is because Bitcoin was ahead of schedule at the beginning of this year. It hit the new all-time high before the halving. It never did that in its history. And the ETF buying was driving so much demand. But I think it's good that Bitcoin is slowing down and we're back to a normal cycle pacing. And that will be good because it allows it to build more momentum and for more liquidity and all these things to come into play. And it aligns with the rise of global liquidity, the continuation of money printing, and all these things. So Bob continues saying, basically, given where the 4-year cycle stands, about to begin year 3, an 8-month range, we're on the cusp of a breakout and resumption of the bull trend. So I'm in agreement with Bob. He shared different scenarios as far as the timeline. So the first scenario he shared is where the breakout comes in November, post-election. The other two is more of a pullback into November, but then a bounce in November as well, and then the continuation, and then the one where it's really extended, where it just goes sideways till like December and then breaks out. My hope is, at least the middle number 2 option versus that long extended one. But it is what it is. We have to be patient, right? If we want to make good returns, make money in this market, we have to be patient. That's the one thing we can control, our patience. We can't control what the market does because there's different factors, but we can have an idea of where we're headed based on charts and technicals and macro, not our feelings, and be patient. That's the key. So I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Crypto Wizard said the Q4 bull, the fun is already starting. Bitcoin has started Q4 with a bullish impulse. The parabolic move is coming. It's only a matter of time. Patience pays. So once again, higher highs, higher lows. That's a very good sign versus what was happening, from March down, right? We were forming these lower highs and lower lows. So I think we found the bottom, but it's going to be a bit of a slow stair step out of this scenario. So guys, things are aligning. And as I wrote in my newsletter, as that DXY starts breaking down and we head into more risk on environment, the money printing from these governments continue. And we've seen the historical correlation, inverse correlation between the DXY and Bitcoin. So the DXY is the main catalyst. And I think the uncertainty of the election getting out of the way will be very bullish for risk assets. And in addition to global liquidity continuing to rise and much more. So the on-chain metrics also show that whales are bullish. So Bitcoin supply and exchanges continues to drop. That's usually an indicator that you see throughout the bull market cycle. When there's a lot of Bitcoin headed to the exchanges, that means people are going to start selling, start dumping. When it's coming off, it means there's no sell pressure, or less sell pressure, I should say. And whales and sharks with 10 plus Bitcoin in their wallets continue to accumulate. So that number is rising. And that's a very good sign. Now, quick word from our sponsor, and that is BitGo. BitGo is one of the top tier crypto custodians in the industry. They provide wallet services and much more. BitGo is headed up by Mike Belshi, who's a Web 1.0 and 2.0 legend. Many big brands and companies work with BitGo. Bitstamp Exchange uses BitGo. Sui, Pantera Capital, that's Dan Moorhead, 21 shares. So BitGo helps to custody some of the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF assets. So they have a lot of great solutions. And folks, even Nike uses BitGo's wallet services for the NFTs, and they have a self-hosted wallet for retail that you can leverage, guys. So BitGo, once again, one of the most trusted custodians in the industry. They've been through multiple bull and bear market cycles, and they are still here and they continue to build. So if you'd like to learn more about BitGo, go to bitgo.com. Link will be in the description. Now, folks, check this news out. The United States government has retrieved over $19 million from a purported hack this week. And this is according to Arkham and Zach XBT, who's an amazing sleuth. So the government-linked wallet has seemingly recovered 88% of the lost funds within a day of this security incident. The wallet linked to the U.S. government lost over $20 million worth of stablecoins and ETH on October 24th. So this is interesting. The funds included $14 million in the AUSDC stablecoin. I've never heard of that stablecoin. $5.4 million in USDC and $1.1 million in USDT and $500,000 in ETH. So this is interesting. I wonder who was hacking the hell out of them. Though it's unclear at the time why the funds moved, both Arkham and crypto sleuth Zach XBTC noted that the funds movement suggested malicious activity. The perpetrator moved the funds to non-custodial applications in what appeared to be an attempt to launder the stolen cryptocurrency. The funds themselves hadn't been moved in over 8 months before October 24th. So who the hell would try to hack a government a wallet, crypto wallet? I don't know, but that's a pretty dumb move because you're going to have a target on your back. They're going to come after you, right? So pretty interesting news there. Now, Vitalik Buterin outlines ways to reduce Ethereum's bloat in Purge upgrade roadmap. So reducing the need for every node to permanently store all history in addition to unneeded protocol features could mitigate Ethereum's bloat, Buterin said. Titled The Purge, the possible roadmap is Buterin's fifth installment in a series of contemplating Ethereum's future. Now, Ethereum has been getting incredible adoption, but also there's a ton of layer twos on it because it has scalability issues. And it had the first mover advantage with smart contracts. So I think that's why it has a lot of adoption. But over time, if it's not able to fix some of these issues and improve them, other layer one smart contract platforms are going to come steal market share. And look, at the end of the day, I've said it many times, it's going to be a multi-chain world. There's not going to be one blockchain to rule them all, right? And we're going to see competitors like, look, Solana, Avalanche, Sui, Aptos, and so forth. These are going to come take market share. Now, as always, we don't know the future, and we'll have to see which ones survive, right? Because not everything's going to survive, folks. We've seen this in many different industries, whether it was Web 1.0 with the dot-com boom and different websites and services, Web 2.0 with social networks and apps and so forth. Not everything survives, and there's going to possibly be just a handful of winners who are going to, at least for the smart contracts now, who are going to be in the market. It's not going to be 1,000 smart contract blockchains that are going to be in the market. That is possible, but not highly probable, right? Based on the history of adoption of technology and so forth. But let's see what Buterin is able to come up with. Let's move ahead. Base, which is the layer two on Ethereum, which was created by Coinbase. Its one-day stablecoin transfer volume outranks all other chains for the first time. Boy, Coinbase made a smart move when they built this thing, and they didn't put a token on it. And they're collecting fees. It's boosting their revenue. It's been getting a lot of adoption, so this is really amazing. So the volume of stablecoins transferred on Coinbase's Base Ethereum Layer 2 blockchain on October 26 was higher than all other blockchains for the first time. Artemis data shows 30% of all stablecoin volume took place on Base, a higher proportion than typical leaders Ethereum, Solana, and Tron. Now we know Coinbase, they leverage a lot of USDC, so that's really beneficial for them. They're a big pusher of USDC, and nothing wrong with that. I like USDC. It works really great. And I've had Jerry Miller on the podcast talking about USDC and much more. So it makes sense that they're seeing this type of activity, and they also support USDT and other stablecoins. So makes sense. Smart move by Coinbase. And that's why this week we saw Kraken Exchange said, hey, we're going to launch our own blockchain as well called Inc. And I believe they're doing that on Optimism, which is another layer two on top of Ethereum. So Coinbase really set the standard here. Now, I know Binance was the first to create this idea with Binance Smart Chain, but Coinbase took it to another level. I mean, we have to be realistic. The amount of building that's taking place and how they monetize it and being smart by not, creating a token with it, I think has really worked out well for them. Now, continuing the news around Coinbase, guys, I'm really excited about this news, and I'm actually going to be testing this out. So Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, tweeted out, create an AI agent with a crypto wallet and optional X account in less than 3 minutes. Folks, we heard a bit about this about a month ago where Coinbase tested the first payment transfer between AI agents. Well, they've now built the ability for you to create an AI agent. I think this is going to be really game-changing for many different industries, that you can have this automated AI agent going out doing things, and the creator of it doesn't have to be constantly monitoring it. It has a wallet. You can pay it. You can do stuff with it. So I don't know, maybe like someone creates an AI agent that answers questions about a certain topic on social media or X or something like that. and you can tip it or pay it for the answer. You see where I'm going with this, right? There's a lot of things that could be automated and people can earn. And it doesn't have to be something crazy. Maybe you tip it couple bucks in USDC. I don't know, or pay it a couple bucks in USDC. Hope you guys see what I'm talking about. This is big. And this is why I've often said that AI and blockchain are going to have a symbiotic relationship. They're going to benefit each other because AI is going to help enhance blockchain and Web3 attributes and increase the automation, while blockchain is going to be used to police AI to make sure that these deep fakes and all these things don't get out of hand and we can verify things. So pretty amazing stuff, right, folks? I'm really excited to see what else is going to be generated out of this. So I'm actually going to be researching this. How can I leverage this to benefit you guys, whatever it may be, and create new services and products and things like that? It's pretty amazing stuff. Anyway, folks, that's the news. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to sign up for my free email newsletter on Substack. It's a great way to support me and the podcast. Also, grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto, available on Amazon in paperback and digital. Buy a copy for yourself. Buy a few copies for your friends and family. And if you bought a copy already, please leave a 5-star rating and review. It would really help me out. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.